quite a few of you. Who won what we call the amateur? Barry. That's right. I seen Barry, I saw a show they did, and Barry was the MC of that show, and he also did a skit in the show, but you should have seen the jacket he was wearing. I called him a short quarter wagon. He had, I wish he'd worn the jacket here. It was great. But Barry did win the amateur night contest, and one of the things you get, one of the things you get to do is to be on the show on Thursday night. And this is Thursday night. And you're here. And why don't we do that?
Good evening. I tell you what, if you want to hear from friends you hadn't heard from in years, win a storytelling contest. Because I have a million emails about what'd you say? You use my name, who'd you tell? You use my name. I tell you what, I'm just proud to be up here. They got a good show for you tonight. I teach school, as you know, they've been bringing the kids up here. Wonderful job. We've heard all day long how good it is. So I'm going to get you started off with just a story tonight. You know, back in the day, when I was about 5 years old, my daddy took me over on 72 over by Quinn Road and got me a dog. And I'm going to tell you, it was probably the ugliest dog I've ever seen in my life. It was brown and black, but I was so proud of that dog, I didn't know what to do with it. I took it home and I named that dog Prince. And I played with Prince, and I scratched Prince's head, and I rubbed Prince's belly. And about 3 weeks later, the cat ran in the house, and Mama threw the cat out, and the cat turned around. Prince had puppies. Prince had now become Princess. Then we had. That dog had 12 puppies. And here we were with 12 little puppies. So when they got old enough, Mama did whatever a respectable person did in that day. She put them on swap and shop. Y'all all remember swap and shop with Marge, don't you? We all grew up listening to, Marge, I've got some puppies to give away. My phone number is, but Mama could never get on. She'd be on, we had that old rotary dial phone, you know, that you had to dial. But my Aunt Mary, she was uptown. She had one of them touch-tone phones. And what does it have on it? Redial. So every time she needed to call that swap shop, she hit that redial button and got on there. And we finally got rid of those 12 puppies. And speaking of radio, how many of you woke up in the morning with a transistor radio on your living room table with a leather case and heard this? Someone to care, someone to share. Sick call, wasn't it? I tell you what, if you wasn't sick after you had heard that song, you was sick. But I'd wake up with that every morning. My grandmother would come up there and she would be ironing clothes and doing this. And my grandmother had a way of talking to herself. Bless her heart, she couldn't hear anything. She just talked to herself. And they might say, Mr. Rob Posey, age 73, died. Grandma was just doing that. She goes, he used to drink a lot, but he died a Christian. And next person, you know, Miss Hazel, well, bless her little heart, she has some trouble, but God's will be done. And she would just go on and on. So I know I'd love to have an alarm clock that would play that song. I believe it would wake me up every time. But getting back to my story, we had this dog. And when we had this dog, Daddy was going to build this dog a doghouse. And my granddaddy worked for Flanagan Lumber Company over across the river, and all y'all know where across the river is, right? It's over across the river. So we go over there, and Granddaddy takes us out to the woodshed, and I said, get in over here. I don't know if we pay for it or not, get in. I don't know if we know you for it or not. But anyway, he gave Daddy 4 by 4 sheets of plywood. Some of them 3/4 inch, some of them 1/2 inch, just different sizes. We get home, Daddy just takes a hammer and nails all of them together and makes this doghouse 4 by 4 and cuts a hole in it. Back then I could stand up in it. Well, I can stand up in it now, look at me. I know I could. It was the biggest doghouse I'd ever seen. And he took an eye bolt as big as that garbage can right there and put on the top, because he said he's going to tie Princess to it, where she couldn't get out and have any more puppies. But that never happened. Well, one day, And I picked on Tracy the other night, but he was here that day. Tracy was over at our house, and the neighbor kids, Cam, Michelle, and Travis, we were all over there. My brother comes back outside. I told you the other night if you were here, couldn't just play, we had to have a project. We were over at their house at this time with the neighbors. They had a bunch of mimosa trees. I don't know what them mimosa trees are. We used to play like the leaves of fish, and they had those pink things on them. Well, there was this perfectly forked 2 limbs just like this. We got a road, we tied around that high boat. Dexter said, we're gonna make us a tree house. So we hoisted that doghouse. It took all of us. Travis was the smallest. We even tied him around the bottom and just made him lay down where it would hold that rope. And we pulled it up there and got that doghouse up there. Well, it was setting kind of catty-corner when we got up there, so we were kind of scared to get in it. But Dexter, of course, told us that, let's put Travis in and see what happens. Because he's the smallest, we probably won't hurt him if he falls. Well, Travis climbs up in there and Dexter's hollering, roll around, see what happens, see what happens. Well, Travis pressed hard, rolling around all in it. It was pretty steady. So he said, y'all get in. So here we go, we all get in. So right now there's me, Tracy, Karen, Michelle, and Travis. There's 5 of us in that doghouse. Well, Dexter said, well, it looks pretty steady, so I'm gonna get up there in it. So he climbed the tree and gets in there with us. Y'all, I'm talking, we were close. Tracy sneezed, and I wiped my nose. I thought I did. And I was briefly engaged to one of those neighbor kids. We were so close. I'm telling you, it was scary. It smelled like dog. And we went in there no time, the thing started shaking. Well, Dexter's hollering, be still, be still. We was trying to get to the door. And one of us trying to get out. Well, it shifted that way. The that doghouse fell out of that tree. And it didn't just fall out, it fell on the door. We're all stuck in that doghouse, that heavy doghouse, with the door down toward the ground. Well, I start panicking. Tracy's scared of the dog. Tracy's screaming, I'm screaming, the kids are crying, we're all, ooh, we're gonna die, we're gonna die. I didn't put clean underwear on, Mom would kill me if I died. And we sitting there scared to death, and my brother Dexter would always stay up on Saturday nights and watch. Do y'all remember when at 10:30 they show science fiction movies? Always, Channel 31. And I got to tell you this too. One time they showed this movie, it was called and that's what it was called. Because this professor had a serum that he could put in you and turn you into a snake. And that's why it was called. And you laugh, but I had to go get my shots to start school the next week. And when these people turn into snakes, their stomachs cramp and they scream and they yell and they come out of their room a snake. Well, it wasn't long, my stomach started hurting. And I knew I was starting to school and I was laying in the bed going, how am I going to get on the bus to school? I ain't got no legs, I'm going to be a snake. I was scared to death I was turning into a snake. So don't let the kids watch that, okay? But anyway, he had watched a science fiction program on that Saturday night before, and we're all crying, and he says, y'all shut up! The more you cry, you're using up all the oxygen. Well, Tracy was like, I can't stop crying. I said, well, you hold my mouth and I'll hold yours. So we're still holding our mouths scared to death. We don't know how to get out of that. We're just stuck in there in pitch black. Everybody crying and going on. Well, Dexter again has this great idea. He goes, I think if we will all rock back at the same time, we can rock this doghouse back enough where it'll turn over. Well, here we go. We all get ready. We rock back, nothing happened. He said, Barry, when we rock back, if that even raises an inch, you throw your leg out that door. Well, I thought about it for a while, and I said, well, that might work. But you remember, I was 5 years old. I wasn't thinking too well. So we rocked back, it raised up just enough. I threw my leg on it, come back down. On my leg. Immediately, I start wailing and crying, and Tracy's grabbing my mouth. He using the oxygen, he using the oxygen. We're gonna die. Well, he finally gets up in there, we rock that thing back. My leg was as flat, you could iron clothes on my leg. This is a good thing my bones are still bendable at that time. Or it would have broken. Of course, Dexter got my leg trying to make it look right again, so Mama won't get mad. I'm gonna get mad. Messing the edges and everything on that. Trying to get this right. But I tell you what, when we felt that rush of air come in that door, it was just like being born again. That happened like that. But it was a good time having all that. And I'm gonna tell you one more story, and then I'll sit down and let the Dell people take over. One time, me and my friend Brian, we were about 15 years old. We were old enough to know better what we did. But Mama had told me before she left, she said, I want this paneling clean. I want you to get this paneling cleaner and clean all this paneling in the hallway and all in the den. And I said, yes ma'am, I'll do it. She said, you and Brian can't go anywhere till this is done. So I said, okay. Well, we started spraying that hallway good and wiping it off. Well, we had on our socks. And I found out, has anybody ever got a little furniture polish on the floor or what happened? Well, it gets really slick. I said, let's spray this all full of it and we'll slide. So we put it all over that hallway. We wiped it all up and down, all up and down. And we had us the best time. We would get a running start, hit that, and just slide. Well, later that night, we went on about our business and come back in. Well, Daddy had come in from work probably about 8 o'clock. And if you knew my daddy, he didn't care who you was or what he was. His lounging attire was white underwear briefs. That was it. He didn't care who was there, who wasn't. That's what he had on. I just had to sign a disclosure statement before you come into the house. That's what you had on. Well, me and Brian walked on. We need to be careful. We went in my bedroom. Well, we hear Daddy get up, and all of a sudden we hear the awful sound you've ever heard. We go out, there's Daddy in tight whities, hooked on that wall, both hands, climbing down all the way. It wasn't a pretty sight. We were scared to death. Daddy the whole time wondering, what's wrong, what's wrong? Well, he got back up, took another step. Again. Goes all the way down, all the way. Well, we're hiding, we're scared to death. All of a sudden we see him down on his belly, just slithering, trying to get to that bedroom. And the only thing that saved us that night, the only thing that saved us, he was scared to walk back in that hallway. Come on in, I appreciate this, I tell you what. DHR been around, they took us away from her back then. I had the best childhood in this world. I had parents that loved me, I had grandparents that loved me, I had teachers that loved me. And I want to say again, as a teacher and a coach, love your kids, make them feel safe. That's the best thing in the world. Y'all have a good one.
You might want to talk to these guys over here and see what it takes to get on the circuit.